organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Tonight on Daily Iowan TV, one campaign is beginning and another is ending. We have the latest developments in the nation's 2016 presidential race and here in Iowa, UI student government elections.
In a father's plea to find his daughter's killer, we have updates in the Tong Shao murder case.
One Hawkeye baseball player is adjusting to a new role.
Find out more in sports.
All this at the top of the hour. Welcome to Daily Iowan TV. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Blake Jorgensen.
And I'm Hannah Thompson.
Politicians are making their mark for a chance to become the nation's next president in 2017. This morning, Kentucky Senator Rand Paul announced in Louisville, Kentucky that he is running for president.
That I am putting myself forward as a candidate for president of the United States of America.
Senator Paul is the second Republican to announce a run for the White House. Texas Senator Ted Cruz was the first. Senator Paul will visit the University of Iowa on Friday as part of a 5-state tour. Make sure to watch Daily Iowan TV on Sunday for a recap of the event.
And this afternoon, Washington, D.C. was left in the dark. Power outages struck the nation's capital after a power plant explosion in Maryland. Several federal buildings in the university are without power, and it's reported that about 2,000 D.C. customers also lost power. The outage began after a small fire blew out a transformer at the Southern Maryland Electric Company substation. Officials don't believe malicious activity was involved.
There's little time left for the University of Iowa student government campaigns as voting begins tomorrow. Candidates are racing to get their platforms across to students. Last night at High Ground Cafe Shop, KRUI hosted a radio debate between the Real Party and Beach Party senatorial candidates. Some of the topics covered were mental health safety on campus and sustainability. The first topic discussed was diversity. Beach Party senators advocated for monthly cultural roundtables.
For domestically diverse students, we really want to advocate on behalf of creating regular multicultural leadership roundtable meetings to ensure that student government and administration know the concerns and the needs of every single student.
Real Party senators responded, advocating for cultural competency courses.
We think that it's really important that as student leaders who make rules that affect every single student, whether they be of color or not, that they can take into perspectives of diversity and inclusion, privilege and oppression.
Cast your vote tomorrow for the Real Party or the Beach Party beginning at 8 a.m. on ISIS. Polls will close Thursday at 2 p.m. And this year's UISG campaigns continue to roll on. Daily Iowan TV's Frank Rotella dived into how campaign rules could possibly change in the future.
For years, the UI student government has been about big budgets and political parties, but a recent recommendation would see two major changes. First, it would abolish the party system and establish a representative system where Senate seats would be divided among the various colleges by their size. The College of Liberal Arts and Sciences would get the most. UI Student Government Vice President Jeffrey Ding says Iowa is one of the few schools in the Big Ten still using a party-based system, and that such a system can cause problems for newcomers.
To be honest, you need to have people that are in the incumbent student government in your networks to really have a strong chance.
The second change would see a massive reduction in the maximum amount of money a candidate could spend on a campaign. The current cap is $3,000, but some want to see it as low as $50. Supporters say this could help even the playing field.
Some people just won't have that $3,000 to spend. So it tends to advantage students who come from maybe wealthier families.
Senior Joelle Brown says the expense was a major factor in her decision not to run last year.
In order to have a competitive election and to create a ticket that can actually be competitive, you have to spend the maximum amount of money.
Now, it's important to note that this only passed as a recommendation. The current administration ran out of time to actually amend the Constitution, but supporters are hopeful that the new administration will support these measures and pass them on through. Reporting from the IMU, Frank Rotella, Daily Iowan TV.
The UI community is mourning the death of Sigma Nu fraternity brother and UI junior Andrew Magni. While studying abroad in Rome just days after his arrival, Magni was seriously injured, spending months in a coma. Sigma Nu president Mark Parise said the news came to him just 3 days after learning about fellow brother Roderick Jackson's brain tumor. Parise's favorite memory of Magni was his laugh, describing him as a goofball who was always smiling and laughing.
Couldn't make the kid mad, and it was, it's tough. If it were any one of our other members, he would have been a great person to have in the house to help console people, and I think we're really missing that right now.
The UI is offering counseling services to Sigma Nu, and a candlelight vigil is being planned to take place at the IMU. The UI's African Student Association is holding a separate vigil in Hubbard Park tonight to commemorate those who lost their lives at the Garissa University massacre in Kenya last Thursday. The attack last week was carried out by members of the Islamist militant group Al-Shabaab. The heavily armed militants stormed the university, killing 147 people and injuring 79. Yesterday, Kenya launched airstrikes against Al-Shabaab targets in Somalia.
The tragic murder of Iowa State student Tong Xiao is gaining international attention. CNN reporter and former Daily Iowan reporter Shen Liu co-wrote an article on CNN.com about Xiao's case. Xiao's father is calling for help to find his daughter's killer. The main suspect and last to see Xiao, Xianglan Li, has yet to be found. Search efforts for Li have spread to social media. The hashtag #FindLi was shared over 22 million times on the Chinese version of Twitter.
And still to come, find out how smoking will soon become a thing of the past on the UI campus.
And in sports, a look at the exciting and close NCAA championship game. Hopefully there weren't too many Wisconsin fans on campus that game, and the weather outside might be a little too much gloom.
I know, I couldn't tell if it was going to rain all day. I had no idea how to prepare. Tanner, what can we expect for the rest of the week?
You're right, guys. If you take a look at what the weather was like today, it felt very dark and gloomy, very cloudy, and it was a chilly day as well. But the small chance of rain we were expecting held off. I can't promise the same for tomorrow. Now, as your Wednesday starts out, it's going to be cloudy, temps just in the mid-40s. Your afternoon looks to be the same. Very cloudy, temps in the 50s, but then during the nighttime, we are expecting a big chance of thunderstorms. Expect to see those roll in around 5 o'clock. Skies will try and clear up by the weekend. Expect about a 50% chance of thunderstorms on Thursday, but the weekend looks to warm up and have clear skies. Then, as you see, an 80% chance of rain projected for your Monday. All I have for you here in the weather studio. Guys, back to you at the desk.
About 50 students Monday evening crowded the second floor ballroom in the Iowa Memorial Union to learn about renting living spaces in Iowa City. Student Legal Services hosted the event called Renting 101. Topics discussed included what students should know before and during the process of signing a lease and tenant and landlord responsibilities. Speaker Amanda Elkins shared tips and information that would help protect individuals from landlords who may try to take advantage of them.
Much more familiar with landlord-tenant law, so we want them to know exactly what they're getting into before they move in.
Student Legal Services is located in the Iowa Memorial Union and provides students with free legal consultation.
The University of Iowa is already a smoke-free campus, but next fall the university is banning all forms of tobacco. The UI currently prohibits the use of cigarettes and cigars on campus, but the new proposed tobacco-free policy would also ban electronic cigarettes, chewing tobacco, snuff pipes, and hookahs. The policy will be in effect August 24th, which is the start of the fall semester.
If you were uber excited about Iowa's new ride-sharing bill, you're out of luck. The new bill that would provide a statewide framework for ride-sharing companies like Uber to operate in Iowa died in the Iowa legislature. That leaves Des Moines and Cedar Rapids as the only two cities in Iowa in which Uber can operate for at least another year until the bill can be reconsidered.
Hannah, the college basketball game really lived up to all the hype last night. I didn't want it to end.
I know, it was quite a game. The last few games have been really intense. Taylor Bartz and Laura Belanda are standing by in the sports studio with more. Ladies?
What a game it was last night, guys.
We have a couple of athletes spotlights coming up your way tonight as we look at a Hawkeye baseball hurdler and one Iowa softball player.
But first, we start with the national championship game last night.
A winner has been crowned from the NCAA men's basketball tournament as Duke was able to edge out Wisconsin last night by a score of 68-63, claiming their fifth NCAA Division I title.
The Blue Devils were led by two freshman guards in Tyus Jones and Grayson Allen, who were able to rack up a total of 39 points between the two of them, while National Freshman of the Year Jalil Okafor put up 10 points despite being absent most of the second half.
The win for the Blue Devils puts them in a tie with Indiana and North Carolina for the third most NCAA championships.
It's going to be pretty exciting to see what comes out of that program with all those awesome freshmen they have.
Absolutely. Definitely bright futures ahead.
Iowa baseball is in new territory as the team is coming off one of its best starts in history. Saturday pitcher Blake Hickman is one reason the Hawkeyes have been so successful.
I sat down with Blake to talk about his position change, the impressive start to this season, and what the future holds. Last season, most Iowa baseball fans knew Blake Hickman as the starting catcher. But this season, you'll know him as the 6'5", 210-pound designated starting pitcher with a rifle for an arm.
It was something that me and my coach Heller, talked about in the fall during the workouts. So it's something that I need to take more serious.
During the 2014 summer season, Hickman played for one of the top summer league teams in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, where he took a spot as a starting pitcher and has returned to Iowa with a little more experience under his belt.
Pretty much learning how to be a pitcher. I felt when I first started pitching, I was just a thrower. That's pretty much two different things. I learned how to work my changeup, my slider, my curveball, and just spot up my fastball.
Continuing his first full year as a pitcher, Blake says he still feels that individual improvement is necessary in moving forward.
Just continue to just learn. I think that's my main thing. I don't want to just go out there and go back to my old ways as far as trying to strike everybody out, throwing as hard as I can.
And as an upperclassman and leader of the team, he's got plans for the Iowa baseball team this 2015 season.
Definitely get back to the Big Ten championship, win that tournament, make it to regionals. That's been our goal ever since Coach Heller came on this campus.
Hickman recorded a 96 miles per hour fastball in Cape Cod last summer, making him an MLB draft prospect this year.
That's something I try not to focus on, so I just try to stay humble with all that and just keep getting better and just winning as many games as possible for us.
Iowa baseball is home Wednesday against Milwaukee. That game has been moved up to 3 p.m. first pitch.
Over the weekend, the University of Iowa softball team went 1-2 in a 3-game series against the Fighting Illini, bringing their record to 12-30. But even with this softball season's ups and downs, Daily Iowan sports reporter Taylor Mathis looks at how one player seems to be the Iron Hawkeye.
Since Hawkeye shortstop Megan Blank began her softball career in Culver City, California, her roots and allegiance were always planted in the Hawkeye state.
I couldn't go to all the games. We'd watch them on TV every Saturday morning, get up at, 6 in the morning to watch on whatever channel was on. My dad's from Iowa City, so he's a diehard Hawk fan, and my mom went here, so it runs in the family.
When Blank came to Iowa her freshman year, she immediately became the team's starting shortstop. She has started 196 consecutive games in her collegiate career, not missing a single one, giving her the title of the Iron Hawkeye.
If I'm not in the lineup, then I'm going to push myself, to do whatever it takes to be in it and push my teammates as well.
Along with her starting game streak, Blank has always been a force to be reckoned with defensively, as she has a .951 career fielding percentage, and offensively, she leads the team with a .431 batting average and has made the first Big Ten team 3 times.
She's got a good sense about her in the game. The game oozes through her skin, and that's part of it, and she's patient. She doesn't get too high, get too low. She stays patient defensively and offensively, and that allows her to have good at-bats and to field consistently.
Blank will continue to lead her team as the Iron Hawkeye this weekend for more Big Ten play against the Badgers in Wisconsin. This is Taylor Mathis for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
As Taylor said, the softball crew will head to Wisconsin to play in their 4th Big Ten series of the year.
That's it for tonight's program. Tomorrow we will have highlights as the Iowa football coaches will talk with the media in their weekly spring press conference.
We will also feature another Hawkeye in tomorrow's show as Nicole Ray takes a look at Iowa's tennis player, Matt Hagan.
Back to you, Blake and Hannah, at the desk.
Make sure to pick up a copy of the Daily Iowan tomorrow. Find out what Rand Paul's presidential announcement means for the race for the White House.
And read how making smoking illegal on campus may affect you. Before we go, we need to check out the First Lady's dance moves. Here's Michelle Obama jamming out to the song Uptown Funk at the White House Easter egg roll yesterday.
Michelle Obama encouraged people to share 5 ways they are trying to live a healthier life on social media. This is the 5th anniversary of the First Lady's Let's Move initiative. Those are some pretty cool dance moves. That's pretty awesome what she does for them.
Yeah, and I liked all the little kids in the crowd trying to copy her and stuff. So
I know, I love it.
That's all we have tonight on Daily Iowan TV. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at the same time.
And get local breaking news anytime on dailyiowan.com. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.